muchísima.
Extremely hot. I came back from our work and found this type of unbearable heat at midday. Then at night, its true temperatures go down and it's cooler, but during the day, you can't breathe.
Well, thinking it was spring, we thought it was going to be too hot here, but wow, it's a complete surprise. It's roasting, but it's gorgeous as well.
We are living in an alarming situation, not only because of this agricultural season, which is very complicated. We are not going to be able to sow rice. We have had 5 seasons, and this would be the 6th, with many difficulties.
We have 35% less rainfall this hydrological year compared to the previous one. The previous one was already very bad. In addition, the inflow to the reservoirs has decreased by 65%. That is to say, what reaches the reservoirs has decreased by 65% compared to the last 25 years. Reserves are below 35% of the 25-year average. Who suffers? The users.
Forecasts are complicated for the next months. Apart from extreme episodes like the ones we will have this week in terms of temperature, we observe that the rainfall during the months of May, June, and July have a similar average to the past years. However, as the rainfall has been very low over the last months in relation to years before, we are beginning to get worried about water availability, especially in hydrological basins of Guadalquivir, Guyana, and Sahara rivers.
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. The UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony. The US and Russia are dangerously close to an armed conflict. This year, 2023, New Delhi will be the capital of global diplomacy. For a country as diverse as ours, with 88% of the population illiterate, it was a very big deal to write a constitution, and that too, the world's largest. Meanwhile, if we may, here's a Republic Day gift from India for the BBC. A list of suggestions for the BBC for their upcoming documentaries. Number 1, the Kohinoor and the colonial loot. Number 2, an outdated monarchy and unhealthy obsession with the royals. Number 3, racism in 2023. We're waiting.